soul.
Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
All right, Janice, tell us.
Well, I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I got a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. Every day is a new day. I got a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
I love the silence.
I love silence.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
Are you ready for the power?
I feel the power. I feel the power.
Down in my soul.
Down in my soul. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
Oh, yes, it is.
And the whole wide world is my
Whew, thank you. You can sit down. Thanks, guys. Oh, beautiful. What a great beginning. You guys, you are, what a great bunch of singers, and you're clapping in the right place and everything. So impressed. So let's take a second and we're just going to center down a little bit. After that. And just rest in the silence. Letting ourselves be fully present. And even when a cell phone goes off, we will stay in that place of connectedness, knowing that all continues to be well and all shall be well. So that's great. Yeah, no matter what is happening, we know that there's always this beautiful connection, this beautiful place of centeredness where we can just be right here, right now, knowing that we're always in the right place at the right time. What a relief. And we allow ourselves to just relax, come on into the present moment, being fully embodied so that we feel ourselves grounded and at the same time expanded and open to all possibilities. How lovely it is to know that there is this breath always moving in us, and that we can pay attention and follow the incoming and outgoing of that breath easily, always available, always accessible. And as we continue to just stay in that lovely movement, the incoming and outgoing of the breath, we begin to realize that we are not breathing ourselves. There's nothing that we have to do to push or pull or make that breath happen. That breath, the energy behind that breath, is the energy that creates worlds. It's the conscious energy that's looking through our eyes. And we know that we are instruments for that, so that as we make ourselves available, that divine love intelligence flows through us and out into the world so that we can show up and play and be part of this divine creation, knowing that everywhere we look, we see that beautiful aliveness, that awake awareness looking back at us. Not only being conscious, but it's looking back and cheering for us to wake up, to come into this higher, more beautiful, more expanded place of knowing that all is well and that we are part of it. We just practice being in the silence now, the silence between the words. The silence between the notes of the songs, the silence between our own thoughts, this expanded place of all possibility, of pure potentiality, which is who we really are. So I know that everybody who's here this morning is here by divine appointment. There are no mistakes, there are no accidents. This particular group of souls has never been together like this before and never will again in this same way. So what an opportunity to co-create what is happening now and what will continue to happen throughout this service. Big magic, big gratitude. So we just say, staying in this place of the heart. I know that there is a heart of harmony that we're all longing to tune into. And that it's the direct experience of remembering with great relief who we really are. The words suggest a path. The music takes us there. So we say thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we come right back in together. Open our eyes. Hey, how you guys doing? Woo! Well, that helps me. Thank you so much again. We're really grateful that we were invited to come this morning. Actually, I think we called up and invited ourselves, but never mind. It's really good to be here. JD and I live up in the mountains close to Aspen, and it's lovely to come down here and be with you guys with this beautiful wet spring and summer that we're having. JD and I put out a new album. We've done 8 albums of original music up to this point, and then we released a new album in February that's called Better Angels. And it comes from a quote by Abraham Lincoln, which I will read to you in just a minute. But in the meantime, what we're going to do this morning is invite you to come with us into this, what can I say, into a place of embodiment. And I will just say this, that I know that you guys, as being in this church community, you guys have been doing meditation. You've been doing your spiritual practice for so long. And there's now an opportunity and an invitation to bring that totally into the physical body, to embody that, so that we might take this out into the world with hearts fully engaged. I just heard that there's been another shooting. What's going on with that?
Today, I think it was today in Ohio, yesterday, Texas, a few days before that, California.
This kind of stuff breaks my heart. I don't know what to do about it. And yet there's this invitation of like, okay, time to turn up the volume. I think I could probably say, without offending anyone, that no matter what side of any aisle anybody might be on, that there's a high degree of dysfunction going on at high levels of leadership in our country and probably all over the world. There's a lot of challenge available for us to come in and make a difference. So in this album, Better Angels, I'm going to read you this quote from Abraham Lincoln. First of all, I'm going to tell you a quote from Albert Einstein. I'm just like stealing from the very best. Einstein had this quote in which he said something like, "You can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it." All right? I'm going to say that again. It's really good. You cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. So when I look out in the world and I get ready to freak out and want to run out there and fix everything, it's like, wait, take a moment. come back inside. Do a little meditation. Check on in. Be in my heart. And rise to this other level and go, okay, now from this place of awake awareness, now show up and see if there's something that I can do to make a difference. In 1861, this is right before the outbreak of the Civil War. This is Abraham Lincoln's first inaugural address, when there was so much turmoil going on among different people, different ideologies, and so on in the country. Here's what he said at the end of his address. He said, "We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the nation, of the Union, when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature." We're going to sing this song for you, and you will hear a band, and you will look up here and you will not see a band. Cognitive dissonance. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to sing to the tracks that we recorded for this album, this new album that's out there at the CD table. So I just want you to know we wrote the songs, we arranged everything, we sang it, we hired the fancy guys who came and played on the recording, and I want you to know it's all us and just not some cheesy thing we got off the internet. So here it comes. Dance if you want to. Seeing the world through the eyes of a higher vision, freely feeling the love that's breathing us on, openly singing the song that holds us together, willingly lending a hand to tear down the walls. We're calling our better angels together. We're calling our better angels as we go. Better angels. Better angels, calling on our better angels. Okay, so those are the words. The next time that comes around, you can sing with us. Who brings the breeze at dawn to the mountain meadows? And how do the wild grasses know how to grow? The essential invisible heart of all creation, living inside of us now and singing us home. Here we go. Calling our better angels together. Calling our better angels as we go. Better angels, better angels, better angels, calling on our better angels. The better angels of our nature, the companions of our soul, the ones we can count on to guide us wherever we go. Though the dangers may be daunting, we know that we're not alone. We're lifted up, taking walking the high road home. Better angels, better angels, better angels, calling on our better angels. Let's do it together the last time. Better angels, better angels, better angels, we're calling on our better angels. And while you're in the mood to applaud, would you please give a big hand for Janice? Come on! She learned all these songs. Ah, what a present. She's usually behind the piano, but now she gets to be center stage. We're really happy to bring her there. I'm going to turn it over to JD, but before I do, I just want to say, we've been here to Columbine before, and we love you guys so much. You walk into this place, it's like, yeah, it's already humming, you know, it's already got so much heart. I just want to mention that, so some of you guys know us. JD and I have been, we've been together for a long time.
Decades.
We've been together for almost 25 years, right? And playing music and writing all these songs and all this great stuff. And I do want to say that, you know how it is in a really good partnership where you're with another person, and after a while you realize this person does these things really well and the other person does these things really well, so you kind of get a division of labor, you know, and things work really well that way. So I want to give JD credit for being the guy that holds everything together. I mean, he schleps the equipment, he gets the airline things all organized, and he's like, JD is basically the rock.
Nice, thank you.
And I'm the mouth. But I'd like to turn it over to JD. Go, babe.
Sometimes she says, and let him speak. Yeah. So I have permission right now.
Yeah, please.
My father was a Mennonite minister. And when I was in high school, we lived in this small farm town in the middle of Illinois. And all the folks around us were of European descent. And somehow he became passionate about civil rights. He started to talk about it. He started to actually preach about it. And so now I'm, his son, and I was handed this gift. When you're affected by something, when your heart is broken by something, then you speak or you write a song. So for me, it was when a mother and a child got separated. That was what broke my heart. And I was with a couple other musicians that you may know, Karen Drucker, David Roth, and we wrote this next song. And we were inspired by the words of Martin Niemöller. After World War II, he said this: first they came for the socialists, and I was not a socialist, so I did not speak out. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I was not a trade unionist, so I did not speak out. Then they came for the Jews, and I was not a Jew, so I did not speak out. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. For the past 4 years, Guadalupe checked in to the Phoenix office of immigration. Both of her kids U.S. born, but everything changed the day they took her away. In the home of the brave, in the land of the free, we are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Guadalupe, you come for me. For the past 2 years, Kamal made his rounds. Interfaith Medical Center, New York City. He went to Sudan to visit his mom. But everything changed, he couldn't come back, he was stranded in the home of the brave, in the land of the free. We are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Kamal, you come for me. Give me your tide, your poor huddled masses. This is America, built by dreamers, yearning to breathe free. If I had to leave my country, what would I do? If the way I dressed was a trigger for you, if I'm not welcome here, where would I go? Could I sail away on an unknown ocean of hope? In the home of the brave, in the land of the free, we are immigrants and pilgrims and refugees from every nation, one family. When you come for Guadalupe, when you come for Kamal, when you come for my neighbor, you come for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you. It's hard to sing that song and not cry. But we got to take care of each other and of ourselves, right? There's so much that is going on in the world right now that is of concern to me. Not the least of which is global warming, climate change, environmental collapse. And here in Colorado, I feel like we're really lucky. You know, we live in paradise, except that occasionally we have a drought. and we get fires. We sure do up where we live. Right where JD and I live, we had a big fire starting on the 3rd of July last year. A couple of kids at the local shooting range, even ignoring all the signs about how dry it was, and they shouldn't have been shooting up there. They were firing off tracer rounds, which is a kind of military bullet with a tip that burns, a phosphorus tip that burns at 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So they missed the mark. They started a fire, which then raged and raged and raged right over the 4th of July. And it did not escape me that there was something interesting about that timing. The fire went on for, I don't know, a couple, 3 months. Finally, when the snow came, it burned itself out. But I feel like it's really important for us to show up and do whatever we can to mitigate all these changes. I'm going to read you something from our new album. This is the Better Angels album. And this is a quote from Terry Tempest Williams. She says, "The eyes of the future are looking back at us, and they are praying for us to see beyond our own time. They are kneeling with hands clasped that we might act with restraint, that we might leave room for the life that is destined to come. To protect what is wild, to protect what is gentle. Perhaps the wilderness that we fear is the pause between our own heartbeats, the silent space that says we live only by grace. Wilderness lives by this same grace. Wild mercy is in our hands. So when the fires rage, we feel like it's a good idea to dream of rain."
I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer, and the winds changed, and the green was easy, and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer, and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and the way was easy, and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. Sing along if you want to. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and the way was easy, and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars shining, and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came.
Thank you so much. So if you want to take that song home with you, this is the commercial break. There is a CD table out there, and we have a CD that has that song on it and many of these other songs that we will play today or that you've heard before. So just to let you know that you don't have to feel bereft. And we're having a half-price sale, see? So, you know, you can get these, and, you know, gifts, they're wonderful if you already have them. You know, you can get them for gifts, like for friends, or Christmas is just around the corner, so don't forget that. And y'all, this is our choir, by the way, so you can give them a hand. So before we leave the rain song, there's a couple of things I'd like to tell you about that, because I wrote that song in the winter of 2003, right before the United States government went into Iraq. There had been a lot of fires the summer before. I know you guys had fires down here as well. JD and I were driving across the country to go to some gigs in California, and as we were passing through on Highway 80, I don't know if you know those towns like Wendover and Winnemucca. So, you know, we had to stop there for breakfast at a little diner, and that was cool. But I saw some newspapers on a newspaper stand, and there was a whole front page worth of photographs of United States soldiers that had been killed in Afghanistan. And the whole page was full of faces that were probably 18, 19, 20 years old. It's like kids being killed. And I was like freaking out. I was just like, this makes me, what am I going to do about this? Wars, more wars. Can we just stop the wars? JD and I continued into Los Angeles, and we were at a friend's house. There was some rain happening one night. I heard the rain on the roof, and I started to get these words that said, I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came. And then the left hemisphere of my brain bullied its way in and said, you know, you're going to have to find something that rhymes with clear. It's like, you know, interrupting the flow, right? And I was like, okay, well, clear, how about washed away my fear? And the song angels, very, very strong song angels, came into the room and said, no, do not go there. Don't even go to that fear place. And I'm like, yeah, but it rhymes. And they're like, I don't care. It doesn't have to rhyme. There are so many beautiful songs that doesn't rhyme. Just say what you feel. Say what you really want. And I said, I just want peace to spread over the land. So I did that. I finished the song, and I was too shy to give it, to play it for JD, because I thought maybe he'd think it was kind of corny or something. So I was very tender about it, and I kept it away. And it wasn't until the next summer we were putting together a new album, and we were looking at the list of songs. You know, we like to, sometimes he sings the lead, and sometimes I sing the lead. And we looked at the list, and I said, hey, babe, you know, you need to sing another song. And he said, well, I don't know what to sing. I don't have any songs. At which point I said, well, I have this song. And I brought out I Dreamed of Rain. I played it for him, and when it was when he started to sing it with that velvet voice in his key, with that piano thing that he does, like walking in Memphis, right? And it's like, oh my God. So we recorded this song, and then other people started to record it and sing it and play it. Eventually, a few years ago, it was picked up by a choral publisher in Vancouver. And this guy created a version of this for choirs. He told us that there are over 300,000 choirs in North America alone. So he put this song out there, and it became kind of a bestseller. So now there are places all over the country, all over the world actually, that are singing this song. In England, Finland, Durban, South Africa, there's a choir in Shanghai that's singing this song. It's amazing. We will never meet those people, probably ever. And yet there they are. And they have to learn the words to this for their Wednesday night choir practice, right? And it's like, how lovely that they embodied the song at wherever they are all over the world. So what JD and I want to say with you guys, and it's kind of like this better angels thing, to call on who we really are, the very deepest, that divine love intelligence, which is who we are, to really embody that even more than we ever had before, and get over whatever little shyness you may have about bringing that into the world. I don't know what each of you guys is in terms of your highest and best gifts and talents, but we're saying, please bring that into the world. We need you now. That's the end of my talk, I think. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, and now I have to tell you a little bit about this next song. Are you guys okay with this? Is it okay? We had a workshop yesterday, and a lot of these guys came and learned this song, among other things. When JD and I were thinking about putting this album together, I started realizing that in our culture, we like to turn things into opposites, right? Good, bad, you know, wrong, right, all that sort of thing. And what I noticed is that we tend to equate light with goodness. Bring your light into the world, blah, blah, blah. And the dark is bad. Do you know? The dark stuff is evil. It's like, stay away from that dark stuff. And I'm going, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. It's 50-50 here. Do you know? It's darkness and light. It's all connected. And that for me, I'm as happy to walk out on a beautiful night sky with those stars and that velvet blackness as I am to walk out in the aspen groves in the middle of the beautiful sunny day. I know there's so much power in the dark, and that belongs to us too. It's like when you plant a seed, you go into the earth, you put it in that darkness so that then it can germinate and come to fruition. Like, ever tried to sleep with the lights on? I mean, you know, that doesn't work. We need that darkness. We need that beautiful fulfillingness, that rest. That lovely yin-yang sign, you know, where that beautiful, graceful S-curve kind of thing. And in the light part of it, there's a little seed of darkness. In the dark part of it, there's a little seed of light. A friend of mine sent me that symbol, and in the light side, it said, do no harm. In the dark part, it said, take no shit. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Do not strike me down. We are not afraid of the dark. Let's go. Yeah. I wake up in a world where night is falling, but I'm not afraid of the dark. I walk not alone through the valley of the shadow, for love is alive in my heart. Love is alive in my heart. Sing with us.
Love is alive. Love is alive. Yeah. Love is alive in my heart. Love is alive. Love is alive. Love is alive in my heart.
Ooh, oh. Na, 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 na. We meet in the middle and out beyond the edges, under a canopy of stars. We live in the love that holds us together, and we are not afraid of the dark. We are not afraid of the dark. Here we go.
We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid of the dark. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid of the dark.
I wake up in a world where night is falling, but I'm not afraid of the dark. I walk not alone through the valley of the shadow, for love is alive in my heart. Love is alive in my heart. Sing with us. Stand up if you like.
Love is alive. Love is alive. Love is alive in my heart.
That's right.
Love is alive. Love is alive. Love is alive in my heart.
We are not afraid.
We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid of the dark. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid of the dark.
That's right. We are not afraid of the dark. We are not afraid of the dark. Woo!
Let's hear it for Jan Martin and J.D. Garrett, please.
Thank you so much. Please give a big hand to this incredible band, to Janice, to all our singers. Thanks you guys again so much.
Let's have a hand for the band.
Thank you. I know you guys are about ready to take the offering, and we have one more song. This song comes from Julian of Norwich, who is a 14th century woman Christian mystic. And in the middle of the 100 Years' War, she was so connected that she was able to say, "All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well."
All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well, and all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well.
I am walking through the green pastures, and I know that I'm not alone. Song of the meadowlark sings to my soul, tenderly calling me home. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. I am walking beside the still waters, as fresh as the breeze at dawn. The voice of my ancestors whispering, giving me the strength to carry on. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. Surely goodness and mercy will follow, and love will be leading the way. Every shadow will shine in the fullness of time, and bloom in the hearts of the brave. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. Let's do one more time. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All manner of things shall be well.
Jan Garrett, J.B. Martin. You can tell the ministers are away when I'm the one in this spot. I may never wind up back at the piano again. I have to pry this from my hands. So we'd like to take a love offering now, and before we do that, we just want to thank you again from the bottoms of our heart for the way that you support the work that we do here. And I can't get through this without crying, but I just want you to know, both personally and collectively, that your generosity and the way in which you give means so much to us. Thank you. Let's say our offering prayer. God's love. Okay, please see your bulletin and the Thursday update for new classes and events. One down. What's next? Okay. It seems so easy when you're at the piano, what these guys are doing down here. So the backpack update is that the deadline for them to be delivered back to the church was today, but if you can get it to us by Tuesday afternoon, it will make its way into the collection when they come to pick them up. Thank you so much. This is an incredible project. And that piggybacks on what's coming next, because this was an outreach program, an outreach project through A Precious Child. We are interested in doing more of that. That's one of the things that really came back in our surveys, is that this community really wanted to make a difference in our greater community. So we're looking for an outreach team leader. If this is something that is of interest to you, please see Sue. She's back on Tuesday from her travels, and we would love to talk to you about what that might look like. Thank you. Oh, yay. Okay. Guess what? We're doing a music festival here called Woodstock at 50. I know you've heard us promoting for vendors and practitioners and artists, but now we want to let you know that this event is 2 weeks away. And when Martha Creek was here in May, she said, you need to remember that only a part of your congregation are people who attend Sunday services. There's a whole nother congregation out there that will never walk into a service, but that you still serve. And this is what Woodstock at 50 is for. It's for the entire greater community to come together to celebrate this incredible history. It's a 50th anniversary of the actual original festival in 1969. We're one of the only places in town that's doing such a thing. Ours is family friendly and free. There will be music going from noon to 7 with an incredible headliner named Selassie and the Fafa family. We know you'll want to be here. We have a kids wonderland going on, especially from noon to 4. We'll be having pony rides, horse rides from the medicine horse people, a bouncy castle, a dunk tank that we might even get Scott to sit on, and soccer goals and cornhole and all sorts of fun. And there'll also be a healing arts village with lots of great practitioners, an art and craft fair with incredible things for sale, and an art show along with food and beverages. So please come, please invite everybody that you know. It's the one major outdoor event we're doing this year. We hope to see you on the 17th. And I'm just going to make one more announcement, and that is that we finally cleared out the music cabinet, the music closet downstairs after 3.5 years, so we could put the choir risers in there, which means we've got some stuff to give away. If you are in need of 2 huge file cabinets that are kind of cool because they're like dresser drawers. They are down on the patio now, ready for you to haul them away. We have a dolly to help you. We would even help you take them to your vehicle. And we're also giving away a bunch of office supplies and even old scores, actually new scores in some cases. If you have an interest in any of that, come and see me. We'd love to see you take it home. Is that it? Are you new to Columbine? If you are, I'm so sorry. It's not usually like this. If you're new for the first or second time, would you raise your hand or stand up if you feel comfortable with that? We'd love to. Thank you. Let's acknowledge. Welcome. Thank you. We'd love to give you a flower. That flower is attached to a little information card. If you would like to receive information about our programs, please fill that out and leave that with Carol on the way out. Thank you for joining us. And then finally, who are our prayer chaplains today? Beth, we've got on one side. Hi, it's Tracy. Yeah. So they're going to be on either side of the auditorium, sanctuary, and they will sit with you about anything that's on your heart to provide inspiration or healing. They're well trained and ready to receive you. I think that's it. We did it. Stand up.